Okay, we are talking about environmental issues. Way back in 1985, I started a project called Buddhist Perspectives on Nature, something like that. And I was supposed to be working together with the Tibetan team, but as it turned out, somehow it did not work. But that was the first time that I was kind of accepted the work, the job, and I was looking in the Buddhist text to find that Buddhist text is full of teachings which direct issue to conserving nature, like particularly the monks staying in the forest. We have to have respect for the forest, so that's a great wealth of information that we get from the Buddhist text. So when I became ordained, I wanted to start a temple so that we can put it into practice. We can put all those teaching into practice. We start with this starting with plastics, plastics and paper, all kind of papers. And now people would come, our volunteers would come to deliver whatever they gathered from their house. So complete recycle. And I also try to encourage them, like I myself do weaving, what you call rug made from rags, and plastics, different things, different ideas that came to my mind. So I try to encourage them to see that this recycle is possible, this recycle is real, and we do need to address this issue. And the issue went back to Ananda's time, to Venerable Ananda in the Buddha's time, that Venerable Ananda answered the question that this one particular king, he was not very happy because the queen was making offering like 500 robes, 500 jivaras, So when he had an opportunity, he asked Venerable Ananda, what do you do with these 500 robes, And then Venerable Ananda was trying to tell him that, these were distributed to monks in faraway places, they don't have robes. Then after that, then what? After when the robes are worn, torn, and cannot use it, then he used to, cover the ceiling. Then what do you do? After that, what do you do? He really dig questions, Then Venerable Ananda told him in details, and that was nothing else but recycle. How finally, when the rags cannot be used as rags anymore, then he would pound it, mix it with clay, and paste it on the floor. So the king was very happy that, these monks, they really do this conservation, nature conservation. So he brought 500 more robes to offer to Venerable Ananda. So I tell the story to remind him that this recycling idea was way back in the Buddha's time, 2,600 years ago, and we should do that, particularly at the time when we are facing this the heat that is growing every year, what you call this temperature rising, and we are responsible for it. Each one of us, we are responsible for it, and the least we can do is to come and start this recycling. And if each temple is aware of this recycling movement, we can really help the whole country to reduce on this temperature.